Office politics. The moment I say those words, many senior leaders immediately think of manipulation, favoritism, hidden agendas. And because of that, they decide and say, I don't play politics. But here's what I have observed after coaching hundreds of leaders. People who say they don't play politics are often the ones most frustrated when less capable people get opportunities they deserve. Because whether we like it or not, every organization has politics. The question is not whether you will encounter it, it is can you navigate it without compromising your integrity? And that's what I am going to talk about with you today. Hi, I'm Smita, an executive coach and personal empowerment life coach. And today I'm going to share with you the 5 ways senior leaders win office politics without playing games. Before that, a quick question for you. When you hear the phrase office politics, what's the first word that comes to your mind? Put that in the comments. I'm genuinely curious to know. I think one of the biggest myths about office politics is that good people avoid it. They don't. The best leaders understand influence, they understand relationships, they understand perception, and they learn how to navigate organizational dynamics without becoming political in the negative sense of the word. So, now let's talk about the 5 ways senior leaders do exactly that. Way 1, they build relationships before they need them. One mistake I see many leaders make is that they focus almost exclusively on execution, deliver results, finish projects, meet targets, and all of that does matter. I know that. But leadership happens through relationships, not just results. I will repeat that leadership happens through relationships, not just results. I remember coaching a leader who felt repeatedly overlooked for strategic opportunities. His work was excellent, his visibility wasn't. Most senior stakeholders only interacted with him when something was needed. Relationships built during a crisis are difficult. Relationships built before a crisis become influence. And that's why great leaders invest in trust long before they need support. Remember, leadership happens through relationships. Way 2, they understand the stakeholder landscape. Not every decision is made in a meeting, and not every influential voice has the biggest title. Effective leaders pay attention. Who influences whom? Whose opinion carries weight? Where are the informal networks? This isn't manipulation, it's organizational awareness. Because if you don't understand the ecosystem you are operating in, you can make the right recommendation and still fail to gain support. Way 3, great leaders make their impact visible. This is a big one. Many high performers assume my work should speak for itself. In an ideal world, perhaps. In reality, visibility matters. And visibility is not the same as self promotion. It's helping others understand the value you are creating. I've coached leaders doing exceptional work behind the scenes. Yet, senior decision makers barely know the extent of their contribution. And that's not because they lacked impact, it's because they lacked visibility. If people don't know the value you bring, they cannot advocate for you. I will repeat that. If people don't know the value you bring, they cannot advocate for you. Way 4, they stay above gossip but close to information. And this distinction is important. Great leaders don't participate in gossip, but they do stay informed. They understand what people are concerned about, what's changing, what tensions exist, what priorities are emerging. Because information creates context, and context improves decisions. The goal is not to become part of unhealthy conversations, it is to remain aware of the environment you are leading them. Way 5, they protect their reputation relentlessly. And this is probably the most important one. Your reputation enters rooms before you do and often remains after you have left. People are constantly forming impressions about your credibility, your reliability, your judgment, and your ability to collaborate. And these impressions accumulate over time. Office politics becomes far less threatening when you have built a reputation that consistently speaks for you. Influence becomes easier, trust comes easy, leadership becomes easier. Over the years, I have noticed this interesting thing. The leaders who navigate organizational politics best are often the ones who dislike politics the most. Not because they play games, but because they understand people. They understand influence. And they understand that leadership is not just about delivering results, it's also about creating trust, visibility, and alignment. If this conversation resonated with you, I want you to start with awareness. Take my free leadership blind spots assessment. It helps leaders identify patterns that may be quietly affecting their influence, communication, visibility, and leadership effectiveness. Sometimes what holds us back isn't capability, it's the blind spots we don't see. The link is in the description. You do not have to play games to succeed, but you do need to understand the game you are playing. Because leadership isn't just about doing great work, it's about ensuring great work creates the impact it deserves. Do drop me a comment and share this video in your network if this resonated with you. That was all for today. I'll see you the next time.